Network's YouTube channel, the website www.gbn.gd. Those of you watching on GBN channel 7, 11, and 20, and the folks always listening to Classic 105.5, 105.9, Hot 98.5, 98.7. Thank you once again for joining us. Like I said, it's Wednesday, and usually on this day of the week, we facilitate the government or a statutory body of the 435-2041. That's the number to call and participate. Anything that you'd like to share with us, if you probably have questions, queries, comments, concerns about anything that you'd like to share, this is a chance to do so. Call us on the line 435-2041. That is also the number for the WhatsApp. It's also 435-2041, but please only written messages on the WhatsApp. No voice or video calls, no voice notes, no links or pictures or videos, only written messages. Use your letters and numbers and ask your questions on the WhatsApp. You can also do so as well, participate at the GBN Television Facebook page and the Grenada Broadcasting Network's YouTube channel. It's impromptu phone line here on the program. Let's see who is on the phones. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, seem to have lost that caller. Let's try this again.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Sorry, sir, but I was trying to call the number on the TV, so sorry.
That's the number on the TV.
Okay.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye-bye. I'm sorry. She saw the number on the TV and she dialed. I appreciate that. That means you're tuned into the GBN. I appreciate that. Good morning.
Yeah, you like those children?
Yes, I like children. Good morning, Miss J.
You're so nice. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad.
All right.
Okay, today I want to read a portion of scripture from Luke chapter 10. I want to read verse 1 to 3, and it's 16 to 20. It says, after these things, the Lord appointed other 70 also, and sent them 2 by 2 before his face into every city and place whither he himself would come. Therefore said he unto them, the harvest is truly great, but the laborers are few. Pray ye therefore, the Lord of the harvest will send forth more laborers into his harvest. Go your ways. Behold, I send you forth as lambs among wolves. He that heareth you, heareth me. He that despiseth you, despiseth me. He that despiseth me, despiseth him that sent me. And the 70, that's verse 17. And the 70 returned again with joy, saying, Lord, even the devils are subject unto us through thy name. And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. Behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. Notwithstanding, rejoice not that the spirits are subject unto you, but rather rejoice because your names are written in heaven. Now, Christians, I have heard people make the statement that, I'm no match for the devil. The devil this. Listen to what Jesus, he sent out his 70 men. He sent out people in 70s, in groups of 70s, 2 by 2. And he gave them instruction. He said, I'm sending you as sheep among wolves. He said, be wise as a serpent, be harmless like a dove. So when they came back and they had the experience, they said, Lord, even the devils are subject to us through your name. And then he said to them, yes, that's good, but don't rejoice because the devils are subject to you. Rejoice because your names are written in heaven. Grenadians, your name need to be written where you want to go after death. If your name is not written in the Lamb's Book of Life, you cannot enter heaven. The Word of God tells us in John chapter 3 that except you're born again, you cannot enter the kingdom of heaven. In those texts, you see nothing concerning religion or denomination. It's your relationship with Jesus that matters most. Yes, we congregate as people. We meet together to worship, to praise, to lay hands on the sick so they should recover and so forth. But if your name is not written in heaven, they said, don't matter, the demons could be subject to you on the earth. Yes, they could do all these things. But if your name is not written in the heaven, you have nothing to rejoice about. Have a blessed day, darling.
Thank you very much, Ms. Jeremiah, for your contribution. It is impromptu open phone line here on the program, 435-2041. That's the landline number. It's also the WhatsApp. You can also send in your comments, questions, queries, concerns on the GBN Television Facebook page and the Grenada Broadcasting Network's YouTube channel. There is somebody on WhatsApp asking if there's any info on the reopening of the T.A. Marischal Community College. I have not received or have not seen any information related to the opening of TAMCC or any other school outside of the Form 5 students who need to sit CSEC exams. So it's possible TAMCC, let's see, maybe September for the new school year, but for now there is no word on the reopening of TAMCC or any other schools. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm just calling to find out, right, since that the airport is closed.
Yes, go on.
If there's any preparation for those that is in the United States for them to come back home, because we have some of them that want to come back. And who can I contact?
Thank you, caller. So far, there has been, I believe there's only been one repatriation flight out of the United States. You can contact the folks over in the U.S., they can contact the U.S. Embassy for information. There has been a program where they have consolidated the names of Grenadians who would like to be repatriated, and they should have those names already. If there are people who have not gotten in contact with the officials, I suggest you do so. Those people who are already on the list have been contacted and they have been informed about when a next repatriation flight, if and when a next repatriation flight will be leaving the U.S. That's what I believe they did for the last flight that came in. Was it about 2 weeks ago? So they have a database, that's what I was looking for, a database of Grenadians in the U.S. If you'd like to get your name or a name of a loved one onto that list, contact the U.S. Embassy or the Grenadian Embassy in the U.S. The Grenadian Embassy in the U.S. and let them know that you'd like to be included on the list. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Last time on the report book, you have on the 7th of September. That will be the new school term.
Okay, thank you. Okay. All right. So the new school term begins on September 7th, all things being well, all things being equal. So, yes, I think I heard that a number of students have received their report books already because school is officially closed officially. Yes, officially closed officially. And the school term begins September 7th. Good morning.
Morning, Sister Blossom.
Good morning.
I just wanted to ask a question.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just wondering, a lot of people, me and somebody was having a little discussion this morning. We want to know, how old is Spiceland Mall? How long has it been built? Thanks.
Thank you, caller. I am not certain about how long Spiceland Mall has been built. We may have to Google that information. Back to the phone line. Good morning.
Morning, Blossom. How are you?
Good morning, Tanti. I'm good.
I hear to say give a little report about the health center. No, we are going there because we are sick people. And not alone, elderly people, babies, children, mothers with babies. We have to stand outside from. Sometimes you go early, you can't. If you don't go early, you can't leave early. You reach there after 6 people get there because they want to be on time. You have to stand outside from 6 o'clock in the morning, some reach there until 8 o'clock. I don't think it's right that sick people standing outside. Now, I went there yesterday morning. My legs hurt me, my thigh hurt me. I want to pass water. I stand in and I grind in pain. But God gave me strength and a hold on. I think the government should do something, Mr. Steele, whoever is in charge of health. Let them know when people go to the doctor, they are sick. You don't go to sick doctors because you're healthy. You go because you need help. We standing out there for a whole hour. The nurses come and they pass in, they're going inside. I said, nurse, I need to go to pass some water. Well, you'll have to wait. The security inside a whole hour before. I reached there after 6 and I had to stand up until 8 o'clock. And I'm not well. I want to sit down. My legs tired. It's swollen. He cannot stand up for long. We need some help by that health center. There is no place to shelter rain. When rain falling, we have to run for shelter. We cannot stand up there. No way to sit down. You have to stand up there and wait. This is not right. If people are sick and you want the doctors and nurses, the doctors just come, sometimes they come early, sometimes they come late. The olden days they used to come all after 10, 9 o'clock, no coming in. But nowadays the doctors, they have them, they're a very nice doctor. Dr. Andrews, both husband and wife. They get there all after 8. Well, if you have to get the people's paper out, whatever they go to doctor for the doctor to see them, you have to get all the nurses, have to get all the papers and everything. Only but the nurses coming in for 8 o'clock, you the patient going in for 8. What is happening? They must do something about the health center. It's not right. For sick people, we standing outside for an whole hour, 2 hours before they get to the health center to sit down, to relax themselves until the doctor comes. Let them do something about it. But tell them about it because it's not right for sick people to stand up outside in front of the health center for a whole 2 hours. It is not right. You're sick, that is why you go there. If you're healthy, you won't go there and stand up there. I have my pain, that's why I go there. If I didn't have pain, I wouldn't go there. If I could go to the private one, maybe it's the same thing, you have to wait for them. You go to the government one, worse yet. You have to stand outside in the rain. It's not nice. They have to do something about this health people.
Okay. Thank you very much, Danny, for your contribution. Hopefully somebody is listening. Let me check the social media before I go back to the phone lines. All right, back to the phone line. Good morning.
Good morning, Ms. Blossom.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm all right for now.
Okay. Go ahead.
A simple question I want to ask you, as the young lady asked you. Is there any information for those that get locked down in Grenada from Trinidad? From Trinidad? Is there information that you could know about how they could get back?
Okay, thank you very much. As the borders remain closed during the address on Sunday by Prime Minister Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, he did advise that their arrangements could be made for chartered flights. Those of you who can afford a chartered flight, that would be your most immediate solution to returning to your home country. Get together with a group of you. If you are across the region, you can get together, form a group and arrange for a chartered flight to come to Grenada. All for now, no commercial flights. If you can't afford a chartered flight, I am not sure what your next best step would be, but for now, chartered flights is the soonest available option for you. Good morning.
Yeah, Blossom, how are you today?
I'm good.
You know, I'm listening to the lady and my heart is bleeding because the health situation in Grenada, what I would use, stinks. Because you see, what is the priority of the government? And I know that some time ago there's this long talk that they've been dragging their feet about. Of course, they're famous for dragging feet in relation to the National Health Insurance. You think it's no, I think at the NDC time that they were set up with Chester Humphrey, etc., and they're talking about this thing over and over, and of course COVID come now, so that's on the back burner. But the bottom line is long before the COVID, there was this issue of the National Health Service, because the health service, I can't go any further, because when I say it stinks, it stinks. And I would really wish that the people, those in authority, could pay a little attention more to it, because it's the poor people that are really hurting. Also, what I want to talk about, I want to talk about what that on GB on Beyond the Headlines on Monday. And I thought, that Odette Campbell was really good. She was professional. She was asking the question properly, as outlined by the callers, not the people on the Facebook. Her demeanor was very good. She was really, really, really good. But the three public servants who was there, that is Yolande Bain, Oliver Joseph, and the permanent secretary, because these people are public servants. They have been paid to we pay their salary, so they are public servants. You also call them fancy name, but they are public servants. And I didn't like the attitude, in particular, of public servant Oliver Joseph, because he actually tried, in my opinion, to intimidate Odette. And she was just doing her job very professionally, asking the questions on behalf of the people of Grenada who are paying them, and they're accountable to us. And I've known him all my life, and I know him to be a cool and calm person. And his attitude, I was shocked. And I want to say to Odette, you did a good job. The people are asking questions. It's obvious to me that the responses, well, I don't even want to say what kind of response three of them give. I won't go there. The farmers have some concerns. My goodness me, they're not happy. The public perception is, and the allegation is, that they want the government is hijacking or whatever word they use, takeover, hostile takeover. They don't want things to be rammed down their throat. All you have to do is to continue the dialogue. I looked at the draft, and I don't find it fair that the minister has the power, all the power, to elect the board, and I find Odette made a very good suggestion.
Thank you.
So I am saying, stop being hostile. We paying all your salary, and you're accountable to us. Put it in your pipe and smoke it. All right.
Thank you very much, caller, for your contribution to, and I'm sure Mrs. Campbell is tuned in. If not, I would pass on the information to her. Let me take this caller, and then I'll go to a break. Good morning.
Oh, yes. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
And have a great day.
You too.
Now, listening to the argument, I'll come back to my theme, the economy. Miss Blossom, except we get this economy going, I'm saying that every day to people, my friends, because I said it a lot of years ago, this country is going to go to lockdown, not because the government is not doing maybe a good job or trying to do a good job, but you see, a lot of time was wasted for too many years in paying attention to the economy as it relates to taking care of the nation's people. So it is a crisis time, and you have to understand maybe the attitude of the public official now is a stress. They do not know where to turn to. The world has broken down. We did not position ourselves for this thing here. So you ask me questions that I just cannot answer. What do you want me to do? This place is going to go to a lockdown if we cannot get the economy going. I don't want to go to edit. I have been saying that for quite some time. That has to be a no-no. The CSME, that has to be a no-no. The CCJ, all these things have to be a no-no, because every single one of these entities must be run based on the strength of the economy. But we do not have an economy to take care of these things, and we're not paying attention to this. My analysis there is over the next 5 to 10 years, we're going to lose a lot of these public officials. Under the pressure, they're going to resign. And who are we going to put there? The younger people, they just can't take up this country. Just put this there and analyze it and see where we are. And I'm not talking politics here. I'm saying plain and simple, the economy is not ready and cannot take us out of the situation that we are in, because this is too weak. Who's going to jumpstart it? I don't know. But it must be jumpstart very, very quickly. We cannot waste time. Have a great day now.
Thank you very much, caller, for your contribution. Appreciate it. On that note, let's take a break, and then we're going to come back inside with this impromptu open phone line. This is To The Point on Classic, Hot, and GBN. We'll be right back.
Long ago, the strength of Grenadians was in their arms as they worked the lands to get food for the table. Nowadays, most Grenadians' plate is packed with lots of starch and meat, little or no vegetables, plenty fried foods, and they wash that down with something sweet while sitting in front of screen. Hard work and exercise seem to be out of style, and lifestyle diseases are becoming the fashion of the day and claiming many lives. Let's make a change to live longer. Let us grow and enjoy a variety of natural and safe, fresh vegetables and fruits every day. Use our local fresh seasoning and spices to make our traditional dishes healthier and avoid highly processed foods, snacks, and drinks. Drink more water every day to help your body function better. Get moving every day and trade some screen time to share and enjoy healthy family meals. Choose healthy foods and healthy lifestyle. Follow the healthy choices for healthy living guidelines for Grenadians.
Stop the spread of germs that can make you and others sick. Cover your nose and mouth with a tissue when you cough or sneeze. If you don't have a tissue, use your elbow. Wash hands often, especially after coughing or sneezing into a tissue.
Feel good facts.
Remember, if you have flu symptoms, do the right thing and stay at home to avoid giving it to others. Remember, you can be infectious up to a week after developing symptoms, so rest up and take it easy.
Welcome back to The Point. It's impromptu open phone line here on the program, 435-2041. That's the landline number. You can also pose your comments, questions, queries, concerns on the GBN Television Facebook page, the Grenada Broadcasting Network's YouTube channel, or on the WhatsApp, 435-2041. Let's go back to the phone lines. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, go ahead. Yes, it is. Go ahead.
Yes, good morning.
Morning.
Like we tie up?
No, just turn the volume down on your television. It's a little bit delayed, so turn the volume down. You'll hear me through the phone. Right, go ahead.
Yeah. Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, I have a concern.
Just mute the television or the radio.
That mute is now.
I'll turn the volume right down.
Yeah, I did that.
Okay, go ahead. I still hear it. Go ahead.
Like because I'm talking and somebody else is talking to Blossom.
No, it's you, but you're hearing the television in the background. Go ahead.
Okay, let me just turn it off right up. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I have a concern. I was working with the in the health system for the past 36 years. 36 years. And now I'm retired. When I go to the doctor and I get a prescription, from a private doctor, I used to attend the outpatient clinic. But I was referred to a private doctor because of my health problem. And when I go to the doctor and I get a prescription and I go to the government clinic to get my medication, I am told that they don't deal with the private doctor's prescription at the government. I am a taxpayer. I am in my 70s. So then, why is it that they cannot deal with a private doctor's prescription? Sometimes you go to the private doctor and the doctor don't even charge you because you might have worked in the same system and you get a free attendance. So why is it that when you go to the government dispensary, they don't give you your medication as an old senior citizen?
Thank you very much. Caller, I am not sure why that is. You may have to seek an explanation from maybe the private doctor himself or the Ministry of Health or the dispensary themselves. I am not sure why that rule is in place. Let me go to the WhatsApp in the meantime. It's quite a while I haven't heard Miss Jacob. Do you know if she's okay? Thank you, I'm concerned. Yes, Miss Jacob she's not 100%. I spoke to her this morning. She's not 100%. Hopefully she will feel better in the coming days. Miss Jacob, people are inquiring because they haven't heard you in a while. But I spoke to her just this morning and she is okay. She's not 100%, but she is fine. She's fine. Another WhatsApp question. At the PM's address, he made the curfew to 11 p.m., an extra 2 hours. And inquiring minds would like to know if it is to accommodate the restaurant in question that was posted on Facebook by a concerned Grenadian. Just asking. In the Prime Minister's address, he spoke of hoping to increase economic activity with the extended hours of movement made to the public. Back to the phone lines. Good morning.
Good morning, Blossom.
Morning.
I want to take the opportunity to say congratulations to all of the Form 5 students of the various secondary schools, especially those of St. Joseph Convent, Grenville. And to the teachers, we want to say thank you from the bottom of our hearts as parents. We are extremely proud of our children. We know that it's trying time, especially in this time. We would have liked to be there to be part of our children's send-off, but it's difficult, and we just want to say thank you. You're the best. We thank you for whatever you have done, those of you who have gone out of your way. We know our children was not always easy to deal with, and for that we are eternally grateful, especially to the principal of St. Joseph Convent, Grenville, Miss Linda Francis. We also want to say thank you. You've been there through thick and thin, the early morning, the late hours, all those who have retired and would have done their part. From the bottom of our hearts, we say thank you, and to our girls. Some may have failed by the way during the term, but this is not the end of your life. It is more important when you get up, when you fall, and try again. Your whole life is ahead of you, and we look forward to a good year going to TAMCC or wherever you choose to go. God bless you and have a good life ahead of you.
Thank you very much, caller. There was a question on the Facebook, some posts on Facebook. Somebody on Facebook says some of the questions could have been answered on Monday night. There was a lot of bobbing and weaving, but Mrs. Campbell stood her ground. Somebody says, why have they not had a toilet for the people to use? Then that nurse needs to have compassion. Moving forward, the government ought to do better and let us have a positive attitude. Somebody else on Facebook says, I want to take time to big up you and the management for having Tevin yesterday. It is very exciting with lots of information about Carriacou and PG Martinique and the great questions by you. One thing I am disappointed about is not having the minister today to rebut what Tevin said in his disposal, in the discussion. Thank you very much, Ernesto. My pleasure. There was a comment on the WhatsApp that said the rep from Carriacou was very disrespectful and centered around Carriacou and PT Martinique. If that is his attitude, then we are in serious problems. Okay, I lost that caller. There was another comment on the WhatsApp. A second woman has allegedly come forward claiming sexual assault by the Prime Minister's former security chief, as reported by a local newspaper. When will the people demand transparency and equity in the process for allocating government lands and resources? And why is Gino and other women's rights organizations so silent about the abuse these women have endured? 2020 is a year for us to check ourselves and get a lot of things right. Fix it now. Back to the phone line. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, Blossom, and to all your followers.
Morning, how are you?
I want to start by commending the government on its decision to delay the opening of our borders for commercial flights. I think it's a prudent thing to do. And when we look at what is happening around, I think that the decision is the right one. I would also like to commend Mrs. Campbell for her performance, for want of a better word, on Monday evening. And this is a topic on which I wanted to speak a few minutes this morning. I think it was very deceitful, some of the things that we heard. Blossom, if a gentleman has 5 kids with one woman and another 5 with another, he gives them $100 each. And he brings all 10 together and he gives them $200. Are they saving $100? It's twice as much money, but twice as many children. So to make it look as though, if you bring the two together, that whatever you give, half of it will be saved, in essence, this is very deceitful for people who know better. I was disappointed to hear that. And the other thing is, we're hearing, there was always talk of merging of these two organizations, but a merger is a merger. If you come up with something totally new that does not involve the two original parties, it is not a merger. It's a dissolution of the two parties, the two groups, and the formation of something totally new in which they have very little input. And while there was always talk about merger, there was never any talk about opening up the sector. That was never part of the thing. So this to me is the main crux of the matter. It is not just to merge them, bring them together for the benefit of other folks. Nutmeg buyers out there are different from cocoa buyers. So while there may be some opportunities and many opportunities for collaboration, strategic alliances, and all this sort of things in terms of the operations, but there are many areas where they are different. There are people who grow both nutmeg and cocoa, and if you hear their position on issues in a nutmeg meeting, that same person has different positions on issues in his cocoa board meeting. So to make it look as though they're a homogeneous group, you just bring them together and you merge them and it'll be hunky-dory, that is not true. It's very, very unfortunate, and it is very misleading. The other thing is, I understand this thing was on a fast track, and as a matter of fact, it is alleged that today should have been the first day of the operation of this new entity, the 1st of July. And who was involved in drafting the legislation? You say it was leaked? Probably it was. I have not seen it. But if you are meeting with them to discuss the merger, don't you think it's only reasonable that they should have a contribution towards the draft? But you already have your draft fixed and ready, I guess just for them to accept and then go and sell to their constituents? No, that's not how things are done. There should never be a draft. They should discuss all the aspects, all the ramifications, and from their discussions have a draft. But the draft was ready, I guess just for people to ink their signatures on it. So I think that this whole thing is deceitful, and the government must come clean. We need to get a better collaboration, better strategic alliances, better synergies between the two boards. But they're not just about operation. There are many other aspects of them. They're marketing and so, which is totally different. And we do not believe, I personally don't believe, that this merger was in the best interest of the farmers per se, but is to help a few people to capitalize on our commodities for their narrow interest. Have a wonderful day, Blossom.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bernard. You do the same. On YouTube, somebody says, Any government who takes over power from the private sector always makes a mess. When the government takes over the agriculture industry, they will mess it up. Somebody else on YouTube says, nothing this government does surprises me. That is who we have ruling over the country: deception, lies, and hypocrisy. Let me go to Facebook. Little, based on the draft, looks like zero input. Somebody else on Facebook, a good government is known by how it treats its citizens. There are lots of work to be done, true, and the poor country deserves leaders with lots of love for its citizens. Definitely not arrogant and self-aggrandizing specialist. What a caller describes as her experience seeking medical assistance at that health clinic is pitiful. The people need seats and shelter there. But didn't the minister say the draft was prepared by some consultant? Could be wrong. Perhaps Mrs. Campbell can clarify. I can't recall specifically about this draft. What I remember about consultants was that there have been a number of consultancy in the past in relation to the way forward for both associations. But I can't recall specifically about who put the draft together. Back to the phone lines. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, I'd just like to say that I listened to the program Beyond the Headlines with Minister Joseph, Minister Osford, and the PS, Maureen. And I believe that a lot of information was given out and a lot of clarity on the whole issue that there are some people who have the political agendas. And I believe in good faith, in the interest of the farmers, interest of the association, whatever it is, it's a draft paper. And I do believe with the consultations and listening to the cries of the farmers, etc., I believe this is going forward to make a profitable organization, and the farmers going to be benefiting from this whole exercise. You know, people may have the issues, but I believe more information given out going to bring clarity on the whole issue, because don't forget, yesterday I've been listening to some farmers on radio programs and so on and talking about the need for it and the continuing consultation, because it's a draft document. You haven't gone to cabinet, you haven't gone to parliament, and even all them stages you go in parliament, there is still room for consultation. So I just urge that people listen to the facts and be guided accordingly. And secondly, I just want to hear, I heard you say that on Wednesdays you'll be having the government and statutory bodies. So I didn't hear you talk about the NNP at party. So I just, want to have a little question there, because I've seen the leader of the opposition is on Tuesdays, and then I've seen accommodation for the other parties, and it's about the third week I've seen the NDC caretakers in different constituencies being on. So why is it that the New National Party isn't on and a slot for them? Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you very much, caller. Let me see how I can put it. The Tuesdays are open for political parties and social society. Hold on, I'm trying to phrase it properly. And yes, and leader of the opposition, the office of the leader of the opposition. Wednesdays are for government. If there is an opportunity for the NNP to appear on a Tuesday, I would need to speak with management about that. But technically, the government and the NNP are the same. But as it relates to specific party issues, I'm sure if they require a day, they can have a discussion with management about possibly a Tuesday slot, and we can take it from there. But for now, that's how the program is. Let me take this caller, and then we're going to take the break. Good morning.
Good morning. How is everything?
I'm good. How are you?
Mm-hmm. But the years later, had a problem with financial difficulties for the longest while. Which government had to support for the longest while. Kevin had to support, and nothing coming in back. Now, they say the government Liat right now, and they owe the staff $194 million payment, in any case, money. Why do all the islands who support Liat own their own plane? If Liat have about 6 or 7 airlines, everybody own their own airlines and maintain for themselves in their own country and their own expense. Either with government money, taxes money, no problem in any case. It must be government. You know. If you have got to have some new Liat planes lately, so if you have 6 new Liat lately and they have 6 old ones in the past, let everybody get 2 planes. Every island own their own Liat airline. It may be much cheaper and better for the nations to carry. Pumping and making a new entity again, they say wrong Liat and have a new entity again, a new company. You waste the time still with the same problem. And Antigua Prime Minister said they want the company, the office stay in Antigua. The Jerry's Island in the Caribbean is Antigua, you know. In the OCS, you know, Antigua expenses are a lot, the cost of living is very high, labor is very high in Antigua for all the years. So it was painted up in mud with Liat. The government Liat, let every island own their own aeroplane and maintain it for themselves. So nobody has to support nobody. And the other people all over see want to come back home. Right now, there's some people that want to come back home in Greenland, they can't come back home, no flight. The other people all about want to come back Greenland, want to come back home, where they go and all, and they can't come back. In any case, you know, I mean, it's a problem right now. The whole world right now in a crisis. The whole world, not here, the whole world upside down right now. And I'm telling government for the past time in any case too. Try and pay people the money weekly and fortnightly instead of this monthly thing. Because monthly right now we coffee on and with coffee thing on, COVID-19 on, money turnaround is very slow. So you give people money weekly, fortnightly, you pay people who working by the week, by the day, pay them one time. Money turn around. Because otherwise you can't go dead, you know what's going on right now. Things are not on the upper roll.
Okay.
Oh, bless me.
Thank you very much, caller. On that note, let's take a break and then we're going to come back and wrap up the program. This is To The Point on GBN Classic and Hot 98. We'll be right back.
COVID-19 is an infectious disease caused by a new coronavirus introduced to humans for the first time. It is spread from person to person, mainly through the droplets produced when an infected person speaks, coughs, or sneezes. These droplets can land in the mouths or noses of people who are nearby. These droplets are too heavy to travel far in the air. They only travel approximately 1 meter and quickly settle on surfaces. This is the reason person-to-person spread is happening mainly between close contacts. The exact time that the virus can survive on surfaces is not yet known. So it is wise to clean surfaces regularly, particularly in the vicinity of people infected with COVID-19. Hands touch many surfaces, which can be contaminated with the virus. You should therefore avoid touching your eyes, nose, or mouth, since contaminated hands can transfer the virus from the surface to yourself. When coughing or sneezing, cover your mouth and nose with the bend of your elbow or use a disposable tissue. If a tissue is used, discard it immediately into a closed bin. The most effective way to prevent the spread of the new coronavirus is to clean your hands frequently with an alcohol-based hand rub or soap and water. This will eliminate the virus if it is on your hands. Stay healthy and prevent the spread of COVID-19.
Welcome back to The Point. This is impromptu open line. Hit us up on the WhatsApp landline, Facebook, and YouTube if you have comments, questions, queries, concerns. Let's go back to the phone line. Good morning.
Yes, Mr. Blossom.
Good morning.
You can just do the Googleation for me and find out the thing for me, please.
I was trying to Google it, but I can't get the information.
Okay, you go work on it for me until for tomorrow?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay.
No, thanks. Thank you very much.
Let me go back by the YouTube. Why can't the NNP speak on party issues on Wednesday? Somebody on Facebook says, give Grenada one of Liat's planes. Somebody else said Grenada had their own plane before the government sold it. Let's go to WhatsApp. Why report books for secondary schools and not for primary schools? I smile at that because primary schools come first. I am not sure. Minister Joseph's hostility and arrogance on Beyond the Headlines was like that of a school child who was trying to explain to the teacher why he did not do his homework. His closing remarks highlighted his total lack of knowledge of the GCNA, calling on farmers to take control of the industry. Farmers have been in control for 73 years and have done a much better job running their business than any of the statutory bodies with boards appointed by the government. The GCNA is a model cooperative that has brought in over $1 billion to the economy over the years. It has more than $50 million in assets. How does a cash flow problem because of lack of sales during a pandemic become the reason to hijack the farmer's private business? Back to the phone line. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Blossom.
Good morning.
It is very troubling that we had to wait 2 weeks to hear the Prime Minister tell us that they wanted to take over the association. 2 weeks, because when you ask what else was said, I don't know if you analyzed the address. I called people who had previously informed to look out for the address, and I apologize to them because I thought they could have spent the time better. I want to say thanks to Mr. Jude Bernard for the work he's been doing, especially this time, the so-called merger. And somebody, did you give a reason why the government was not on this morning? Because you're trying to explain somebody asking about why the NNP. That's why we're in this situation, Blossom. We cannot be wasting time with these trivialities. If the government feels that they want to send somebody just to represent the party that I think they have the thing. This wasting time about why this person asking why the NNP. This nonsense, and that's why we're here. Blossom, and somebody said earlier in the program that the year 2020 has given us an opportunity to look at where we are and to do better. And just yesterday I was trying to analyze what's happening. I think that's where we are. The world has been placed at ground zero, and we all need to check ourselves, all the things that has happened, and do better for the year 2020. We've started the second half today. Have a good day now.
Thank you very much, caller, for your contribution. You enjoy your day as well. Somebody on Facebook, monthly payment is ancient. I agree with the caller. Government needs to find ways to make it better for the citizens of Grenada. Changes are taking place everywhere. Let us keep up. This is 2020. WhatsApp. Good morning. With Grenlec, the government referenced liberalization and low electricity bill. We ended up with a $200 million bill. Farmers, be careful. Somebody else on WhatsApp says, we're hearing that our students in Cuba have been calling for help and no one is paying attention to them. Some of their complaints is toiletries and basic necessities. There is a Grenadian embassy in Cuba. The ambassador is former Minister of Education Clarice Charles. I'm not sure if they've been in contact with the embassy. Or maybe Ministry of Foreign Affairs here at home. If one avenue is not working, try another. That's what I always say. Don't always depend on one avenue. Just explore your other options and see if you get better results. Blossom, can you give us an update on the tablets that were promised to school students? No, I do not have an update. That could be provided by the Ministry of Education or possibly by GIS, but I don't have an update. Good morning.
Good morning, Citizen Welsh.
Good morning, Citizen Rollo.
Yes, I had to check myself these days and so on and with my timing. But anyway, let's go. Listen, I want to correct a problem that there is. The other night, the so-called Prime Minister made a speech. And he mentioned of an extension of the curfew. Let's define the word curfew. A curfew is a period or interval of restriction of movement of a people. If he extended the curfew, then he had to drop it back to 7. He didn't. He took it to 11. Then he reduced it. You know, it's sad that up to 1, 2, 3 occasions, the news is repeating this idiocy, including senior police officers. Why can't people think prior to getting on the radio and talking all this nonsense that young and old and even foreigners listening to them? The time has come in this here country that we lift the bar. Analyze what we have to say, guarantee that it is correct to say before you come out here and bluff people. And then when people like me talk, I am rude. I tell them this. Listen, Citizen Welsh, as I end this part. Yes, I'm clicking myself. Until the government of Grenada and all those who do defend this imperial order and council of the Queen's most excellent majesty can define to me, can prove to me that the Constitution of Grenada is legitimately, and I repeat this part too, de jure legitimate, then I will stop. Other than that, all of them are usurpers, and I'll continue to call them so-called. Have a nice day, will you?
Thank you very much, Citizen Rollo. You enjoy your day as well. 1.5 minutes, not bad. Thank you, Citizen Rollo. There was another comment. I think I saw a new post on WhatsApp. My suggestion is to give the government and the NMP all the days and time on the radio and TV. Give them all the airtime. I'll give them all the airtime. Back to the phone lines. I think this would be our final caller. Good morning.
Morning, Ms. Blossom.
Morning.
I was the one who addressed, and I didn't call particularly for that. I was the one who addressed the confusion that Mr. Rolo created by saying the wrong thing. And let me tell you why I said what I said. If you listen to what the Prime Minister said, the Prime Minister specifically pointed out that he extended the time from 9 to 11 relative to the business hour. It wasn't the curfew per se. Automatically, the curfew is included because the curfew was from 9 to 5. But he extended, and this is what I said when I said it, and I particularly said, he stopped right there. He did not continue the subject matter into a curfew issue. He said that the time is extended from 9 to 5, and 9 to 11, sorry, and he extended it. That is the extension. Yes, I understand the argument that Mr. Rolo brought up the morning. And I respect Mr. Rolo's intelligence, and maybe he has something against me, apparently, because I notice he sometimes particularly target me. I don't target Mr. Rolo. I don't have time for that kind of little children thing. But I didn't call for that, like I said. But just as he addressed it, and, I was trying to get on even before him. Sorry. Now, here comes the issue that I really want to deal with, and two of them, actually, but I hope I have enough time. Because I didn't call for a long time, Blossom. And there are so much issues that burn in, especially that whole issue with the ID card that we have. And the ID card is designed for the voting process. What kind of sense is that? And then it expires. So just like the voting process, the ID card expire for voting, my vote expired too. Let me tell the government that. Let me tell everybody who's listening. My vote expired. I don't have an ID card that I could go and use when I need to go and do whatever business that usually it is used for. Right now, it is too much to bear. Everybody's frustrated with that nonsense. I have nothing with COVID. It's the process that is unnecessary that becomes the problem. I don't understand why you would have to have an ID card expiring. Excuse me? That doesn't make sense. Because the ID card, your responsibility to the country and as a citizen is continuous. It has no limit of date and time, and there comes a serious problem with that. So my vote expired too. Sorry for that. And when I say sorry, I mean it expired. There's no question and no way I'll go and vote again. I don't need an ID card for that, if you put it that way, for voting purpose. I need an ID card for business purpose. The other point, Brassam. This whole issue and argument over the cooperatives with the Nutmeg and Cocoa Association, and the whole confusion over it was leaked. Leaked is nonsense. That whole idea of leak is nonsense, and the government trying to find out who leaked it and whatever and everything. That doesn't make sense. Because whether it was leaked or not, what was written on the paper is there to be seen when it comes out officially. The same thing, what should have happened initially, and I've been a part, and every time I've been a part of farming community, right now I'm within my plans, whether I've been a part of the farming community, where I go to meetings, and I've written many articles relative to that kind of thing. I was in a meeting with when Mr. Ben Jones was Minister of Agriculture and Deputy Prime Minister.
Wrap up, please.
Right. And I usually make a stink about things because the government have always trying to roughshod over people's right and authority relative to the whole issue.
Okay.
And just adding, finishing right now, sorry. And if they're going to get any way with that, the farmers have to be included. Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. Quickly, Mr. Rollo, Citizen Rollo, what he was saying was the phrase that is used. People keep saying that the curfew is extended, but what he was saying is not the curfew that has been extended, it's freedom of movement that has been extended. It was just a correction of the phrasing that people have been using, including myself, until he pointed it out to me earlier this week. Curfew has been reduced from 9 to 5 to 11 to 5. But freedom of movement has been extended. That's the specification that he was pointing out. In relation to the ID cards, the Parliamentary Elections Office has advised that the need to renew the cards is to ensure that the information on the cards are updated. People change addresses, people's appearance may change over time. That's one of the reasons why the ID cards have expired. Just like your passport expires after some time, it's the same identification it's making, but the information in it needs to be updated. It's the same with the ID cards. That's one of the reasons why they need to be renewed every so often. And like the Parliamentary Elections Office said, it was just an error in the date that it expired. It should have been longer, which is, I believe, it's 10 years. And it would be corrected when the new ID cards are issued. Thank you guys very much for participating in impromptu open phone lines here on the program. We thank you all for participating. Thank you for your contributions and your comments, questions, queries, concerns. To the Point returns tomorrow, God willing, on Thursday. Until then, have yourselves a safe, productive Thursday. Joseph is up next with Mid-Morning Buzz. Bye, everybody. Have a good one.